It's late and I'm doing two. So I think I have lurched into this room recently, the one where white men, are being emasculated. I heard that today. It strikes me that what masculated them, no E, in the first place, needs looking at. I heard a discussion on democratic culture, big D, becoming increasingly hostile to young men with Li Fang, so Democratic Party. A very basic impression I got was that some white men, crucial that some, after hundreds of years of cultural, religious, and economic dominance in the world, however, that was attained, have become very fragile in a generation. So the theory, I suppose, is that white men show up at democratic gatherings and the women and the people of color turn on them with hostility and behave wokely towards them. And again, I've seen this depicted, I've heard it talked about, I've heard it described. I've not experienced it. So, for what that's worth. I'm an old man, so I don't go to college places and things. The arguments all bend around what these means of acquisition of wealth and status were and whether these means spell culture. The outcomes were iniquitous. The means were therefore iniquitous or meritocratic. And that is all one needs to decide. White men decided it was meritocratic, a blessing from above or a superiority attached from above. That's all it is. You know, whatever it is that our civilization has done to the world, in the world, since whenever, that people might complain about, you know, their mistreatment of women and of people of other races and of people of other sexual orientations, which they have done, all of it, they will tell you it was well done. And you will be saying to them, no, it's not well done. So that's your issue. That's all you're struggling with. The wrangling of the day whirls around the white men losers. This is what the discussion is currently, these emasculated ones. What happened? And apparently, what hit them? Why hit them when they're down? About their rich brothers and their inherited hatreds of women and other races. Oh, what a load of victimization. I don't know what it is like in classrooms of Harvard, but I have been in a mega church in the last 15 years and have hung out with those men, working class men not from Harvard, and I would agree, gazing upon them with some insight, I am a white man, that their old road is rapidly fading and the new one is no help at all. As looked at previously in a poem mostly, the working class I knew more intimately in England have been emasculated for many, many generations. I watched the excellent Made in Britain film of 1983 recently, and I just wondered what one would do with Tim Roth character Trevor. The script was really bracing, really inquiring, examining about the people who surrounded him, but his performance was so liberated. Something in it was so compelling, this rebel. I thought I'd have watched it young, and even now find the personality and his rebellion to be completely understandable and compelling. It is a problem with good acting. We all did that then, I hope. Some of that. We were all antisocial once. I was before the high civilization of drama school, after a series of undemanding jobs, lucky, driven by an inner story that I clung to despite parents' angst and disapproval and therefore rebellion. Nothing worked. The values of society didn't motivate me, and lucky again, I had some sort of flair or capacity that would allow me to earn a living without much compromise of what was important to me. That is what is offered to some people. A future where they go, I have to compromise everything essential to me. I was in many ways in those days uncivilized on the outside. It was a performance, a truth we do not acknowledge. How much of what we do is a performance, especially in a culture that wants to prohibit performance. Roth was not Trevor, to be clear in background. If there is any relevance to that science, we are our upbringing, but he was no working class kid, Tim Roth. Kid of working class parents. He was probably in a similar delicious limbo as I. We white middle class boys in that era could be anything. To clarify, I use emasculation advisedly. One man's castration may be another's liberation. I've seen that. Our masculinity needs looking at before we can be emasculated. Since a need to make a living is a universal and used to make me very happy and masculine feeling, it's easy to see a symptom. Masculinity attached to car brand and size is, well, pathetic, and actually means that he has been emasculated before he got to the car lot. At drama school, 3 years, I would walk in every morning between motorcycles, often carrying paper bags of stuff for object exercises, etc. I was living in Swiss Cottage, a middle class to affluent place, but had very short cropped hair. It looked shorter than this, and so was often stopped by police, asked about the contents of the bags, etc. Their assumption was, of course, by my haircut, my tight jeans, that I had nicked the contents of the bags in affluent Swiss Cottage. The stop was always congenial. All right, mate, what's in the bags? And my answer in flawless John Gielgud, oh, objects for an object exercise at drama school officer. Accent heard, true story, and these cops, no doubt of working class parents, would actually apologize. Oh, very good, carry on, mate, yeah, have a lovely day, and sorry, we thought. After a while I got better at it, stopped them as they approached. Oh, good morning, officers, how are you? Then slowly I'd share the joke. We'd share the joke. I essentially worked working class jobs for 3 years before going to drama school, so I think I was a halfling, really. And it wasn't fakery, it was an exploration. I was free to explore, a middle class privilege. The other ends, high and low, are very tradition bound, and I swear that moving through and out of what we are dealt as children is the most crucial of life's courses. Its avenues. I was almost never in the company of people like me until I went to drama school, where I felt we were all changelings, halflings, discoverers, and marvelous. It was. Parentheses, I was deceived, but it worked very well for a good old time, end parentheses. So, long story to say that I had little confusion about and no sense of emasculation. I was free to choose. There are too many tales to tell. I hope the ones above help.